Welcome to the second episode of our real estate talk show by the name Dubai Talks in Bravos Fort. What we want to discuss today is a subject we believe is very important. It's if you have a salary of 10,000 dirhams monthly basis here in Dubai, can you or should you buy a property in Dubai? Stay with us to find out. Dubai is known as a very luxurious place around the world. But all the luxury here is carried by the actual employees, the end service providers. Now, I want to devote this episode to those people, to the actual employees. If for you have a significant salary here, you know that you have options to buy, to live a little bit of a better life, to drive a better car, and to do everything that you want. But what I want to talk about today is average and even a bit below the actual average. So in 2019, last year, by the actual findings, the average salary of Dubai was 6,000 dirhams on a monthly basis. Now in 2020, that is reduced because of the entire COVID situation and whatnot, but now it is amounting closer to 10,000 dirhams on a monthly basis, right? Yes, I believe it will come back to 16,000 and probably more in a certain period, maybe 2 or 3 years. But I want to focus on this number, the 10,000. So if you have a 10,000 dirhams, what can you actually buy? Is it actually possible to buy a property here? We know that properties here are considered expensive, but are actually, if we look on a global scale, very inexpensive to other big cities. But say that you are working here, you are a single person, and you have 10,000 dirhams every month coming to your account from your job. So, Kaiser, can you tell us what would be your recommendation? Can these people actually buy a property? Now, keep in mind that this 10,000 dirhams is a figure I'm giving without anything included. So there is no transport paid, there is no accommodation included, and 10,000 on top of that. No. I want to speak about the people who have 10,000 dirhams monthly, and they have to regulate everything else. So they still have to think about, from these 10,000 dirhams, about their accommodation, their transportation, food, everything about the living expenses. What can you tell us and what can you recommend for them? I have an idea of my own, but I want to hear from you first.
Nico, first of all, I would like to appreciate the topic you have chosen. It is really important. Before almost 5 years or 10 years or something like 10 years before, Dubai was claimed like a city belongs to the elite, city belongs to the people who has money. So this was the claim of fame for the Dubai. But in the history of human beings, the cities who survived and who thrive and who make history and who are living with the 1,000 years or 100 years of civilization, though the real city of this world, they belongs to the middle class. So the city who do not have the proper or real in proportionate middle class, they do not long lost. So I would like to here again appreciate the wisdom of the rulers of Dubai, that they have realized it very earlier stages and they start working on that line. You remember before 2 years or 3 years, the bigger developers, the big players of the real estate in Dubai, they were launching all the way around anything like above 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, something like that was a ticket for the real estates, what they were offering. But since 2019, if you have noticed, the trend completely changed slowly. Now from the bigger players, like we can name them Imar, DP or Damak or many other bigger developers, and all the way towards the smaller developers who have started their businesses since 2-3 years back. We can name, there are many and they are credible, they have their history in the Dubai since 5 years, 10 years. They were working on the smaller communities. They also considered and they started the smaller ticket. You can say they have started the smaller ticket size of the buildings or community, which we can speak like middle tier communities, right? So the topic you have chosen, before I will, again I will take 1 minute before to go to the specific topic. I would like to, because this program used to be watched on the YouTube by the international viewers. So there are many questions people used to ask us that is the expats can own the property in the Dubai as they are buying the property in their own home cities, like as they can, it can transfer to their generations like the way they own their property in their home cities. Yes, the answer is yes. Expats can buy property on a specific certain communities, which are designated communities, we can say, in Dubai as a freehold area, which can be just like they are buying in their home countries. Yes, it has been allowed since long, maybe 10 or 12, 13, 14 years back, it has been announced and it is practiced all the way in Dubai. Now, let's come to the point where you have raised the question that the person who has 10K salary, including, and he has to manage all his life in that salary, can he buy a property in Dubai in this situation? Or he should do, I mean, the question you also put that should he buy? The simple one-line answer, yes, he can buy and he should buy. Now the question how they will buy and from where the down payment will come, do they have the down payment with them? Maybe they just arrive in Dubai, they get a job and they started a job 1 month, 2 months back, and they do not have the down payment, and might be it's difficult for them to arrange a down payment from their pocket. There is a ways to arrange a down payment. Plus, there is a ways to how they will proceed with the further with the installments. How much the installment will be? What kind of the steps the Dubai government has taken to help them to make the installments minimum, to make the down payment minimum, what the developers are doing to help the middle class to own a roof for them. It's really something we can say we should appreciate the developers, the private developers, the government entities who are developing the real estate in Dubai, the government financial institutes. Everyone is joining hands to help the middle class to survive and to thrive and to grow further and further. So the question, yes, they can buy, but no, how they buy, where they should buy. As a tip, I can name some couple of communities, and further we can elaborate on them, like Jumeirah Village Circle, like the Discovery Garden, Sports City, Arjan, Furjan, and there are something. These are the names which are the communities which are offering lower ticket size properties to which can say affordable properties, affordable communities with the modern lifestyle and everything. But no, where it, how they should find out the location, which location is better, which suits them. Basically, every person, maybe he has a job somewhere in Jabal Ali, or maybe he's working somewhere in a Sheikh Zayed Road, maybe he's doing somewhere in Al Quds. And this is how they should prioritize their location and as per their kids' schools, as per their affordability and accessibility. These all things are important when the person is going to buy a property. And you know, for a middle class, for the people who are earning in this range from minimum 10K to 20K or 30K a month, for them it is a life earned money. You can say it's a hard earned life money. So it's a real big decision for people. But they should be conscious, they should look for the location, they should look for the accessibility of the community, of the building, and many things comes, the factors which has to be counted when they are going to decide. Yes, so simple question, the 10K minimum salary, gross salary, and meanwhile he has to make the life, to run the life out of 10K, a person can buy now in Dubai a property, and he should buy.
I agree as well. I believe the same. People who have this type of salaries, 10K as we have given a specific example, can and should buy a property. Especially now, because now there is some fantastic offers if you want to go with a bank or even without a bank to use a payment plan of certain developers, which we will discuss as well. But what I want to do, I want to go more into the specifics. I want to give the people who are watching us, I want them to have very specific answers on how their money distribution should be and how much do they need for this. And I want to give two examples for that. Number one is if you are a single person and you have 10,000 dirham salary, gross, which means everything else will cost you from that 10,000 dirhams. And also if you are a couple, say you are two people, young or feel like young, but what can you actually do? What can you buy? How much that will cost you? So say for the first example, your life cost will be you have to have food and fuel. Let's say you have a car and you have a place to live, right? So let's distribute the expenses as an example this way. For your car, say you have a car loan and you're paying 1,000 dirhams a month, okay? Say then you need fuel, you need food, and a little bit of clothes from time to time or whatnot. We'll put that 3,000, let's say, for that. So now we used 4,000 out of 10. And you have an accommodation. Say that you live in a studio, which you are paying 3,000, for an example, on a monthly basis, okay? Now, that would be approximately 7,000. So you have 3,000 left, okay? Sure, these expenses can be a bit less, but let's say that you have 3,000 to 4,000 left from your life expenses on a monthly basis. Now, if you're a couple, this will immediately double, right? Which makes it easier. But if you are a single person, as an example one, I want to discuss this. What can these people actually do? Following this distribution of money, and they have 3,000 to 4,000 left on a monthly basis, can they afford the property? What is the property they can afford? Right? For a single person, a studio will be perfectly fine. Again, you would love to have a 3-bedroom villa, of course, so would I, but this is something that we are specifically talking what is possible, why should you do it? Now, that will be your own property. What is important? I want you to give us example as well of a specific property and an area, like JVC, for an example. So what can we get to 3,000 to 4,000 on a monthly basis, which is left over? What can we get there? Talk about a studio for a single person. And I want also a 1-bedroom example for a couple. As when you have a couple, things are a bit easier, yeah? Because even for the down payment, which is usually about 20%, one of you can take the actual personal loan to cover the 20%, while the other person will take the actual home loan, the 80% mortgage, if you are going through mortgage or the bank. But there is also examples of the payment plan. 10 years payment plan specifically I have in mind, which will fit in this criteria. Can you tell us more about that?
Nico, you very rightly pointed out, you have taken two examples, one for an individual and one for the married couple, newlywed married, huh?
Yeah.
I would like to put myself in their shoe. Let me feel first I'm unmarried and I am a single. Let's have a look on this scenario, that how they will go for it. If a gentleman comes here and he might let take a easy example. He is an individual. He is doing a job in Dubai and he has a salary of around 10K a month, from where he is fixing his all needs. And beside that, he is thinking to buy a studio apartment. That's what we have spoken. So, what suits him, his requirement, and what maybe he can afford at the moment. So he is thinking to buy a studio apartment. You have pointed an area which named Jumeirah Village Circle. You taken my words from my mouth. JVC is one of the best and one of my most prioritized area. If we will talk about the affordable community, if we will talk about the middle tier properties in Dubai, the first, the area which catch the eye, which catch the mind, it is Jumeirah Village Circle. Why? There's a different reasons. So before I will go and be a single and try to buy a property, let me tell the viewers that why we spoke, why we took a Jumeirah Village Circle, JVC, which is so-called JVC, as an our priority. We start going to take an example there. You know, whenever you are going to buy something, there is a one major reason, that is location. Jumeirah Village Circle stands alone in all of the middle tier communities, which is really located in a right location. If I will just give you an example that JVC located just beside the Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Road on one side, on the other side there is Al Khail Road, on the other side there is a Hissa Street. So it's located it's encircled with three major roads, and which give this area a best connectivity. If we will see it, almost 25 or 30 minutes maximum away from downtown Dubai, and it's also 25 minutes maximum away from the Al Maktoum airport, which is the biggest airport of Dubai is going to have. So it's a central location. For the next 3 years, after 3 to 4 years, Jumeirah Village Circle will be the center of Dubai. It makes it, every eye goes out on that. Then it has a connectivity to each road. There is already 4 exit is already operational, and 5th I have listened that they are planning to go for a be operational. And if we will talk about to the prime areas, to the accessibility, let's speak, if the person is doing the job in Jabal Ali, he has a 20-30 minutes, maximum 30 minutes drive from the Jumeirah Village Circle towards the JVC, towards the, from Jabal Ali to JVC. If one is doing the job in JLT, he has to just drive around 15 minutes max. That is also 15 minutes max I'm talking about. Sometimes there is a hustle in the traffic. If he is doing a job somewhere in a Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Road like Business Bay, he has to travel maybe 20 minutes or 22 minutes. If he want to go with the kids on a beach area, JBR, he has to travel maybe around 15 minutes. If he want to enjoy some kind of Palm Jumeirah or some other any mean, like he want to go to the Mall of Emirates, he has to go only 15 minutes drive from the Jumeirah Village Circle. So it is the connectivity and the affordability and the location. It makes Jumeirah Village Circle, the community, is the most attractive and eye-catching community. I'm just trying to take time more. So let's put the community in front of the people, what they can afford in this package, what they can go. So later we can tell them how they can afford. I will give them the calculations. But let's see what is JVC. JVC is in a 560 hectare community. If we will talk about right now, we can see there is every kind of what called retail, like Choteram, Blue Mart, Spinneys, everything is already there. If we will talk about right now, maybe 6 months before the 5 from JVC, it's not 5 Palm, it's 5 JVC, but it is 5. It's already operational there. One of the best 5-star hotel is operational in Jumeirah Village Circle. They have around 33 gardens already established. People are enjoying the gardens in the evening, in the morning for the walks. It's around 4 million square feet area they have covered with the gardens. There are 2 mosques already operational inside the Jumeirah Village Circle. I'm just trying to figure it out, so people who are watching, they will come to know what is JVC. Nakheel has, Nakheel was working on a circle mall, which they launched around maybe 3 years, 2.5 years back. Nakheel, that circle mall is having around 270 outlets. They are building a community club for Jumeirah Village Circle residents right on the rooftop of the circle mall, which is carrying the health clinic, which will have the restaurant of around 300-seater restaurants. They will have the rooftop swimming pool. So it's gonna be a real luxury for the people who are living here. And people don't have to go outside of the JVC to buy anything somewhere. Maybe they don't even bother to go for this Mall of Emirates. They will have each and everything right inside the JVC. If we will talk about right away, maybe there is 1,000 buildings which are already established, completed, and maybe some are under construction, and there are 183 buildings still are on the master development plans inside the contractors. Right now, I don't have any figure, but figure was given in 2016 that JVC was populated on that time with 25,000 people. So now we are talking right now in 2020. I don't have the latest figure, but I can just, because this all 2016 all the way from 2020, I have seen with my eyes. This community was planned for 300,000 people. Once it will be fully established or fully completed, it will be residence for the 300,000 people. So with my experience, I can say there is above 100,000 people is already living inside the JVC, which is making it populated, livable. This was a Jumeirah Village Circle, which I was supposed to, which I wish to put down in front of the audience. Let's talk now. Let me go for the single person. Let me be a single person. So I am a person who is taking a 10,000 salary, and I want to buy something in Jumeirah Village Circle, a studio apartment. See, there was two ways to buy. The first was cash. This gentleman don't have the cash, full cash. Okay. So the second way, which was very practiced and which was very traditional way, that he was supposed to buy through the bank. He will produce, before it was 25%, but now the government have Dubai and UAE Central Bank has announced that the expats can go for a 20% down payment. This was happened maybe January or February, right? And they passed the regulation. Now he has to produce 20%. If he is going through the bank, he has to produce a 20% bank down payment. What is the range of studio apartments in Jumeirah Village Circle? It is between 400,000 to 500,000 with the varying size and finishing quality and the view and building, what kind of the building it is. It's a high finished quality building, high-ended amenities. So its range is between 400 to 500,000. I'm talking with the new buildings. There is a secondary market as well, where the old buildings getting sold, the studios maybe at 350,000. But I'm talking about the new building, because new buildings should be the choice in this kind of the community, where the supplies will keep hitting the community. So he has to, as per the calculation, if he has to produce 20% for the 400,000, it's coming 80,000. With 10,000 salary, he can get easily the 80,000 dirham as a down payment, and might be his EMI will be monthly EMI will be around 1,000 to 1,300. This can be the EMI for the down payment, which he will take from the bank as a loan, and rest he can go for. Still, he will be having the cushion to go for the mortgage. This is the one thing. This is the one way. So he can easily. And a mortgage EMI with the 400,000, or you can say with the 300,000 dirham, because 80,000 he already paid to the developer. Rest, the 320,000 amount will be there, for which he has to take the mortgage. For 320,000 dirham, he will take the loan as a mortgage loan from the bank. For maybe there is options 10 years, 20 years, 25 years. If he will go for the 25 years, his EMI will remain 1,500 dirham. If he will go for the 25 years. So in 10,000, he can easily arrange the both EMI for the down payment loan, for the mortgage loan. It will accumulated maybe 3,000 dirham maximum, which will not be the 50% of his salary, which is the standard for the DBR, debt burden ratio for the banks. So this is how the one way he will go. The second, let's suppose he is very new, and he don't have that 3 months or 6 months bank financial statement or history with his own company. Might be some banks are asking us, they have some kind of criteria. Might be he's working in that kind of the company where the banks are not, that criteria, his company is not falling in that criteria where he can get the mortgage loan or down payment. You know, this is happening only in Dubai especially. Developers, government, financial institution, everyone comes up and they joint the hands to let the people feel, give some kind of the relaxation. So what happened before 1 year back or 2 years back, Dubai developers from bigger to the smaller, mostly, not everyone, but the mostly, they started offering the post-handover payment plans. Post-handover payment plan means you don't need a bank. You just need your down payment, and comes to with the down payment like 20% or 25% minimum, and go with speak with the developer. There are developers who are offering that ready properties are maybe about to ready in 6 months or 8 months. You can pay the booking by 5% and complete the payment of 20% completion up to the completion at 25% up to the completion period. Once you will get the key, from that day they are offering 10 years and 5 years payment plans. You can finish earlier if you will get the money, you can finish the payment plan and fix it. But if you want to go through the 5-year or 10-year payment plan, let's suppose if you will go with the 320,000 payment with the developer with 10 years payment plan without getting involved with any bank, even though his EMI is becoming around 3,500 something, approximately I'm giving the calculations. So even then he can afford a studio apartment and he can start living. Instead of he will pay a rent of 3,000 dirham to someone, he will pay the 3,500 dirham as an installment, and he will at the end of the day, maybe he lives in Dubai for 5 years, maybe he lives here for 10 years. So whatever the rent he was paying, it was nothing. It was finishing. But if he will buy a studio and he will pay the installment, it kind of a rent to own. At the end of the 10 years, he will be the owner of the studio apartment, not he will be with the nothing. So this is how, in Jumeirah Village Circle, there are couple of developers. The specialty of JVC I didn't disclose. In Jumeirah Village Circle, specialty of the developer is this: they usually comes up with the 50% completed project or 60% completed project, then they get the escrow account and then they start selling. So whenever there is a project is getting launched, so usually, mostly, they are almost 50-60% already completed. So whenever they launch the project, at usually above maybe within a 6 months or within a maximum 1 year is supposed to be handover. So this is not basically off plan. It is somewhere near to handover, near to complete. So this area, the people to whom we are saying developers, they are really giving the best opportunity to the people, middle class people or middle tier people or with the lower incomes people. They are giving the real opportunity to own a property. So this is how I would like to give you the opportunity to elaborate regarding the married couple. Huh? So you can elaborate the case of the married couple, how they can go for a 1-bedroom property, and 1 bedroom usually starting here in around 700,000, how they can make it. Up to you.
That's perfect. So I will take the example of a couple. Now, I love the fact that you spoke about JVC as what can be offered as an area, and I'm thinking we should do a full episode on that. So elaborate everything you get from an area of the one you choose, the accessibility of it, everything that's included there, and everything that you get maybe with the buildings here. But now I'll elaborate the example of a couple. So if you are a couple and you have 10,000 dirhams salary each, that means that together you have 20,000 dirhams, right? Now, let's suppose I want to do a toughest scenario. The toughest scenario is where you have been here for maybe 6 months or let's say 1 year. You are working in a company and you have seen, okay, I have a stable company here. I see a way for progress. I'm happy where I am. This is fulfilling everything that I need. And I can think about getting the apartment as soon as possible. Now, you being a couple having 20,000 dirhams at your disposal in a scenario like this, in 6 months or 1 year, you will not have the savings needed for the down payment in cash, means directly from your pocket. And that's why I said it is a toughest scenario, because that means you would have to take a personal loan and also a home loan. So those are two different loans. So let's suppose a lady or a wife, girlfriend, whatever, will take a personal loan, and a husband, boyfriend, whatever, will take a home loan. So for a personal loan, and I'll take for an example Emirates NBD Bank, which is the biggest and the most known bank here in UAE overall. So the maximum for your personal loan will be about 4 years. Let's say you will take, as a previous suggestions, we are talking about one-bedroom apartment. As you are a couple, God will give you a baby in some time, so we are thinking ahead as well, okay? Now, the one-bedroom apartment, let's say the price will be around 700,000, 750,000. Now, that's an example for a brand new apartment, fantastic quality, overall mesmerizing finishing, very good building, very good area as well, but still affordable. How? The personal loan that we said, for an example, lady will take up to 4 years. Now, the 20% that you need for a down payment will be covered by the personal loan, plus the 4% for the DLD, let's say, Dubai Land Department transfer fee. Now, give an example that this is 200,000, this amount. 200,000 over 4 years, here's a little tip. You can go to the bank you want. I took an example of Emirates NBD. Go to their website, and you will see a calculator. Means the calculator will give you exactly the amount that you will pay. You can choose, do you want 5 years or 25 years for the loan? Do you want 1 year for personal loan, 3, 4 years, doesn't matter. It will give you the exact amounts. It's very useful, so you can use that. The example that I'm giving for 200,000 dirhams on a personal loan means your monthly rate will be around 4,500 dirhams. So for the personal loan, duration 4 years, and 200,000 is the amount covered by the lady, let's say. Now, for the husband or boyfriend, gentleman, let's say, he will take a home loan. Say that home loan will be 600,000. So together, 200 from personal loan and 600, you have overall 800,000 dirhams. 750 for the apartment and 4% covered with from the Dubai Land Department. You have everything covered, right, with this 800,000. Now the 600,000 dirhams, which you took as a home loan, the longest period is 25 years. If you go for the 25 years, which is the usual case, your monthly rate will be about 3,000 dirhams. So 4,500 for personal loan, plus 3,000 dirhams monthly base for the actual home loan. That's 7,500 out of your 20,000, right? So you have, 12,500 dirhams left for your everyday life on a monthly basis. It's simple. And this is a case, the toughest case, again, where you don't have the savings to pay the down payment. You're taking 2 loans. And again, you can have a very good lifestyle with this. So you can do everything that you're usually doing. You can take care of your car, take care of your food, take care of your clothes. Majority of experts here, like myself, are also supporting their families at home. So you can cover all of this and still progress towards your own apartment here in Dubai. Something that you will leave to your children afterwards. Something that if you decide to go back to your home country, you can still rent it and have a high rental income from that on a monthly basis. So it's a no-brainer for me. This is something you should definitely go for. Now, if you don't want to go through the bank, you can also use these options we have now. Like you mentioned, 10 years payment plan. 10 years payment plan is fantastic. Means you pay, let's say, 30% to developer or 20%, and the remaining you pay on a monthly installments for 10 years. 10 years for a one-bedroom apartment figures, like I've said, 750,000. It will give you 800 square foot, fantastic apartment, something you will love. But monthly basis for there, in that case, will be a bit higher. It will be maybe 5,500 or 6,000 dirhams for an installment, because now we are talking 10 years instead of 25. Plus, this is direct from developer, so there is no interest free from the bank. Think about that. If you want to know more, you can always contact us. We have apartments and buildings like this available. We'd like to show you in person and let you choose what is best for yourself. Now, with that, I believe we can conclude this episode and expect more from us. Tell us what you would like to hear. Give us an examples of what you are thinking about. What is stopping you from getting the property? Is it, are you worried about the current prices? Do you need help regarding the mortgage or the payment plans? Do you want to know what specifically step by step do you need to do? Are you a resident here? Are you abroad? You're most welcome to contact us anytime and find out whatever you need. I believe we can conclude on that. Is there anything else you would like to add?
Almost you have covered everything, but I was loving to listen you while you were taking as a couple. You engaged the audience, you engaged me too. And it's a wonderful, you speak with the calculation, you speak with the numbers, you help the people that how the individual, how the couple can buy. That was the purpose, to educate the people that they can buy, they should buy, instead of paying rent, they should own a property while they are living in Dubai. We covered the people who are end users. I would like to just add 1-2 sentences for the investors. See, this is the time when the developers are offering post-handover payment plan. Even they are offering to take the keys just by paying a 10% and pay them 90% in 10 years. There are the developments and there are the developers who are offering this. With this kind of solution, what the developers are offering, it's helpful for the end user and it is helpful for the investors more. You know, by paying just 10%, you own a property and you start renting, it makes a difference between the return on equity and the return on investments. We can speak further for the difference, what is the difference between return on investment and return on equity. It is really something which makes sense to buy a property for an investor to cash more and more return in a minimum years. So this is what I was supposed to add something. You have wonderfully explained everything.
That's very nice as well. And we have also some projects and developers that are giving guarantee for these investments in a number of years. So I believe we can cover that and talk about more about JVC. I like that part.
Yeah,
in a special episode. I will also try to invite some of the actual representative from the developer so they can introduce us specifically into what they are offering also. But for now, thank you very much for watching. Make sure you subscribe as well. You can contact us anytime if you'd like to know anything more. Please give us a recommendation as well. What would you like to hear about? What are you interested in? So let us know what would you think, what should we speak about next? Or if you have someone special to see, let us know as well. Maybe we'll invite some guests as well. Thank you very much. Subscribe and talk to you soon. Take care.